I don't know if my hair looks good. I'm doing it like different. I don't know. Hey y'all, what's up? It's Brandon Lord. Welcome back to my channel. For today's episode, it is episode 5 of the Accounting Diaries. Now for this episode, I'm going to be talking about accounts payable. I had planned on making a video about accounts payable before, and I think I mentioned accounts payable in a previous video. But then someone did comment on my last video asking me to talk about it, and that reminded me. So I thought, why not make it Did I just have a stroke? So I thought, why not make the next video about accounts payable? My job's currently looking for an accounts payable position, and it's a very necessary position in the accounting field for sure. I wouldn't want to have it. It's a lot of dealing from what I've seen with like invoices and vendors, and personally for me, that's not what I would want to do, but I have much respect for people in that field because it just like, it can get annoying and it can be very time consuming and it's just a lot. So in my previous job, you know, I liked everybody in the accounts payable department. We had a bunch of different departments on like the accounting floor. It was like the finance department, which is what I was a part of, the financial reporting, taxes. Taxes will be a different video. Oh, don't worry, I'll talk about taxes. I won't talk about actual taxes, but I'll talk about my feelings about taxes, which I've addressed. But anyways, there was also accounts receivable and there was accounts payable and like payroll and a few other ones. But with accounts payable, you know, you have the month-end closing process, as we all know. And in my last company, accounts payable would often get extra time to do their work, which, you know, it makes sense kind of, because like invoices get like sent or like received at different times, and there can be a lot some months or all months, and it can take a lot of time to get those invoices in the system and to process payments and to do all that. And you know, I totally get having extra time. I think my main issue was the fact that we didn't get extra time in response to them getting extra time, because them getting extra time put a setback into our month-end closing tasks. For instance, like, you know, they process invoices and they like code a lot of the invoices in the system to like certain accounts that we would have to deal with. So as I've said a million times, I dealt with fixed assets and still do. Invoices for fixed assets would be coded to the fixed assets clearing account. You know, if they're taking extra time getting all those invoices in, I can't really get as much of a head start into looking into that account and like maybe processing certain additions and like seeing what's been coded to fixed assets and seeing if it's in service or not. And also, I kind of like to wait till accounts payable is pretty much done, because there's been times where something would be coded to fixed assets and then there would need to be like a correction or it was a mistake, so it would be coded right out. So it wouldn't necessarily be correct. So I'd have to wait for all that to get coded to that before I could start my month-end closing task. Also, waiting for them to process all the invoices so I can close the open PO module. And that would entail like comparing the uninvoiced receipts report total to the PO module total. If all the items haven't been processed, or there's certain things that were on the uninvoiced but they received the invoice so it needs to be moved out, unless that happens, I can't accurately like tie the report total to the module total. So it would just be a lot of like setbacks if accounts payable had extra time, which again is fine and I get it, especially working at my new company and seeing like kind of getting more firsthand experience with accounts payable. But it was just like, why don't we also get extra time? We would almost get like less time, which makes no sense, but done with that company, so it's fine. It's a bug. There's this one bug I've seen around the house so many times. It's just one little bug, and anyways, with my new company, we're currently looking for a new accounts payable person because it's just a lot of work, especially with my new job. There's a lot of different vendors and like manufacturers, a lot of freight invoices for like shipping and everything, and it's a lot to process, and it's just too much, honestly, for like one person. Like, you kind of actually need two. We're a little bit of a smaller team and we're looking for a few new people also to just add to the team to make everything a lot more easier. And we're getting closer and closer, but AP is definitely area where we need some help. And the main thing is with accounts payable, you know, it's like processing the invoices, putting that into the system, making the payments. See, now I wouldn't want to do like payments and like processing those, because I don't know, I just get nervous all that with like dealing with company money and having to apply the payments. Like, what if you do it wrong? Like, that's just an area I'm just kind of like, I'm nervous. I'll like make a mistake. I'll process the wrong payment. I'll input the amount wrong. I'll just like miss something. I don't know. And I get nervous. And like dealing with money like that, like in that way, I just don't know if I'd be able to take that pressure. Even though it's not that hard, but it's just like, I don't know. I just can't. A big thing I've noticed now getting more firsthand experience with accounts payable, because with my other company, I really didn't have like that much firsthand experience. Like, we were on the same floor, but everyone was in their own cubicle. I kind of knew of some things, but I wasn't as closely interacting with the accounts payable department as far as like seeing everything they do. Like, I would go to them if I had questions, but I didn't really get that. There was that bug. I didn't really get that firsthand experience, but now with my current company and like us being a little bit of a smaller team, we all sit close to each other, and the main person that's dealing with accounts payable, I see what they have to go through, and I've even kind of had some experience myself now, because like we're all like helping each other out and like learning kind of everything. So if someone's out of the office or needs help, people can help them or like cover for them. So I've entered some invoices and dealt with some like vendor statements and stuff like that, and it's not fun. It's not that bad. Like, the entering invoices really isn't that big of a deal. It can just be kind of time consuming, especially if there's a lot and like dealing with all that, but everything can be time consuming and tedious in accounting if you really look into it. But I think the main issue can be, although like there can be a lot of invoices, it's kind of dealing with vendors, because they're not always the most helpful. What I've noticed, like oftentimes they'll send like wrong invoices, or they'll send invoices a little late but expect payment right away. And that's not really how it works. And then sometimes invoices just can be complicated, and like vendors, the way they do their invoices can sometimes just not make that much sense, and then it's hard to follow. And then like, I don't know. It's not as simple as just like inputting the invoices, like receiving and putting that into the system and having it paid. There's like a process, and sometimes if there's like prepayment invoices, there's like one invoice that was like a 50% deposit, and then a few months later, you receive the other 50%, or sometimes you receive it in like weird increments, like 10%, 20%, 30%. It can just be hard trying to find that into the system, and then maybe something was like miscoded, and then you have to apply it, and then you have to do research. You're seeing the system doesn't necessarily, like, you're not able to find the payment in the system because maybe some issue happened and like it was put under the wrong PO. And now you just like have to go on this wild chase just to find where the first invoice went. And it's just, you know, that could be like human error issues, but that's just one of the issues you can run into doing accounts payable. Like, it's not as cut and dry, it's just simply like inputting invoices. And even like something that should be kind of easy, like putting invoices in, like when you get a lot, like human error is a thing. Like, you can make mistakes and like type the wrong thing or apply it to the wrong vendor or like under the wrong PO, like it happens. So when it gets to be like such a vast amount, it's easier to make more mistakes, especially when you need to get it done within a certain time constraint. So, I don't know, I just feel like accounts payable can kind of be seen as like the easier job. They're kind of, I don't want to say they're low on the totem pole, but they're not the highest on the totem pole when it comes to like accounting and all of that. I feel like they don't get that much respect, but they should, because it can be complicated and like hard to do. There's a lot of outside forces and like intricacies with accounts payable that maybe some people won't realize just like from an outsider's perspective, but I've definitely been able to see it getting like more firsthand experience at my new job. With that being said, that's pretty much it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!